Hey, welcome to the post-game show where we're going to talk about whatever we want to talk about. Backstage, we were talking about Scream a little bit, so let's keep that conversation going. We were kind of discussing that we think, Chris said that he believes that Scream was the last good slasher movie made.
And he also corrected us. It came out in '96, apparently.
Yeah. So Dude, I agree. I think Scream's totally is like looked over when it shouldn't be because it's fucking awesome.
Dude, the third act of that movie where they're in the kitchen is so fucked up. Like
it's so good, and
they're stabbing each other, and he's like, oh my god, like, dude, it's so demented and fucked up. When I was a kid watching that, I was like, this is what I want to make. I want to make a movie like this.
Scott, I know you said you didn't see it you haven't seen Scream, which I think is crazy. You have my Amazon account. I mean, no, you don't, but you should log in and watch Scream. I'm telling you, it's not scary, and it's really
not.
It's just a good thriller, honestly, all the way through, and the fucking dialogue's great, and like the quotes it's just so good.
And also, what's interesting about that movie is that that writer Kevin Williamson did he also write Nightmare on Elm Street? I think he may have. Was that also him?
I watched
a little before.
I watched a documentary on it. I thought he was a writer for like TV.
Yeah, I think so. But he was like almost on his way out of the business, and then he wrote that movie, and Wes Craven, picked up on it in the studio.
Well, I'm supposed to watch Triple Frontier in Chef.
In what? Chef is really good. Triple Frontier is okay. I enjoyed Triple Frontier.
These are your recommendations.
I know, just because I'm the kind of idiot who likes a movie like Triple Frontier.
Triple Frontier wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. There are two Metallica songs in it, so that's good.
That's all you need. That's it.
Dude, Orion's in that shit.
Right after I'm done watching Polar Opposites, I'll watch one of these.
But yeah, Scream is a fucking and honestly, Scream 2 is really good as well.
So I'll say this: I think Duffy mentioned that it gets overlooked, and I think that's because of all the ripoffs that came out right after.
Oh, like I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, so it gets lumped into that teen bullshit. When
late 90s, early 2000s.
It started as something new and fresh and whatever. And then it immediately got lumped into that.
Nev Campbell just said she's coming back for the new one that they're making.
So she also came back for Scream 4, which was whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
I haven't seen any after 2, I don't think.
I saw Scream 4 in theaters because Scream is, like, in the history of my favorite movies, Scream is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Duggan, sorry about buddy. We couldn't wait for you to go live. We didn't know if you were coming in or not.
Sorry.
Captain America over here.
It had such a good twist too. It's one of those twists where you're like, no fucking way. Like the first time you see
it is. It's one of those good twists, but also because Billy Loomis and Stu kind of tell you at the very beginning of the movie that they're the killers, and then you kind of doubt it, and then they come back and they go, "Nah, we're the killers." It's kind of crazy, Like, oh,
yeah, it's really good, and the
Sydney.
Yeah, dude,
Sydney.
That alone, I mean, like that shouldn't be as crazy as it was when it's revealed. But that voice changing box and those phone calls asking people about their
scary as fuck,
dude. That is like so clever the way that was written. Like,
what's your favorite scary movie?
Just the little bit. The conversation with Casey in the beginning when he's on the phone with her and he's like asking like it was a wrong call and he just keeps staying on the phone with her. And
but
then
he asks her movie trivia.
He does.
The best part, that's a good point. But I just want to say the best part of that movie is that how it plays on horror conventions.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in other words, like obviously the person runs up the stairs, like what Scary Movie did. Like they're supposed to run up the stairs, but they take that and they twist it. That's what made that movie great.
Right. Well, because the movie is self-aware. Like Scream is it's a movie that was written about other movies. Like
it's played by the characters.
They call out the tropes that happen in every slasher film, and then they still fall into them when shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
And that's the best part about the movie.
That's what we were talking about when Randy goes, everybody's a suspect, like in the video store when he says that shit. Yeah, exactly.
Wes Craven also had a lot of practice before that.
Well, he absolutely did. A lot of practice, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, you know what? That's what I was thinking about. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, Wes Craven.
Yeah, Kevin Williamson was a writer who was on his last leg. Like he was in bankruptcy. He was ready to quit, and then
He
wrote.
went on to write Dawson's Creek too, didn't he? Him and what's his face?
I'm gonna have to Wikipedia Kevin Williamson right now.
I'm almost positive he went from like
He wrote Buffy the Vampire. He did Buffy the
Buffy.
That's Josh Whedon. That's Josh Whedon.
Oh, so
Josh
Kevin
Whedon.
Williamson did Scream. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Scream 2. He did Halloween H2O.
Of course.
Oh, but guess what? He did The Faculty, which is a great fucking movie.
Yeah, it is.
The Faculty is fantastic.
Robert Rodriguez.
Yep.
No
Dude.
shit.
The Faculty is just a remake of Body Snatchers, technically, right?
Yeah, but it's done that's another one that's done differently enough to be clever.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an homage.
Has anyone seen the original Body Snatchers from like 1929 or whatever it was?
I have, but not in the era that I remember.
If you haven't
retained
seen
movies.
it is the scariest movie you will ever see.
Isn't it just called The Invasion? Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm mixing.
No, that's the Nicole Kidman.
That's the Nicole Kidman and James Bond.
The original Invasion of the Body Snatchers from like 1929 was one of the scariest movies ever.
It's 1956.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and then there's the 70s one with Jeff Goldblum.
Watch the 50s.
I saw that one. That's the one.
Watch the 50s one. It's excellent.
I've seen the 1950s one on like Turner Classic Movies and shit like that, but I was like literally 8 years old or something. So
Scott, watch Scream right now.
You know what? I took an adaptation class in college about. It was called Fiction into Film.
I think you mean adaptation, right, Scott?
Adaptation. I'm gonna go watch after this. I think.
Like in this class, we had to read books, watch the movie, et cetera, et cetera. Like we covered comic books into movies. We covered Fight Club, stuff like that. But we also did like The Thing, for example. And I believe Invasion of the Body Snatchers was one of the things that we covered. It was an awesome class. I wish that I could fucking take it again. It was so cool.
The Thing is one of my favorite movies.
So we had to read the
Which
short
one?
story.
The Carpenter?
The
Carpenter one.
Well, yeah, obviously,
one.
Yeah. That's the best version, but it was from The Thing from Another World, which I think is also from the 50s. Yeah.
Actually, you know what's funny for a slasher? So, since you guys were talking about it, the closest thing I've ever watched to that shit, and actually, I think Berta, when we stayed up and we were talking.
Dude, we stayed. Oh my god, I have a fucking screenshot from that conversation. That is so funny. I'll send it to the group text right now.
Oh Jesus!
I'm watching
Club That was
honestly,
favorite
Berto, share your screen and just show everybody.
Which one? What was your favorite?
Club Dread.
Club Dread.
Oh, that's wicked good.
That's my favorite.
That's a slasher.
It is a slasher. I just thought of it. That's like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that's a comedy slasher.
I don't think that counts as slasher.
There's a serial killer going around slashing people to bits.
That's a comedy hijinks movie. Like,
all right, let's see this screenshot, Berto.
Is there a timestamp? Where's the timestamp?
Dude, you guys literally look like Cheech and Chong.
Well, here's the thing. That's why I saved it, but it was just a happenstance. It looks like we're fucked up, but we're not fucked up. I mean, technically I am, but he's not.
That's awesome.
By the way, Cowboy and Pettis are fighting right now.
Yeah, Cowboy and Pettis are fighting. I just got the
I'm watching it down here at the bottom of my screen.
Did Berto just back out to watch the fight?
I should have said it.
He said he was gonna. Bye, Berto. Oh, he's back. Hold on.
That was a mistake. I didn't mean to bail like that. My bad.
It was perfect timing though, because you said you were trying to get out before the fight started. You're like, oh, they're fighting. Bye.
Well, no, they're fighting on the prelim cards. I want to get in before like the 10 o'clock cards.
This is the end of the prelim. I just want to say you guys write good questions. I just want to say you guys do a good job. I hold you to a high standard, so I respect. Sorry for the
Well, to be fair, Duffy has to write a lot.
Yeah, I know. I get that. You guys do a good job. It's good. So.
I'm actually to kind of pimp another match. Scott has wrote 40 questions for Harry Potter trivia. So Adam, myself, and Andy are going to go in right now it's a 3-way match. But if anybody wants to jump on who thinks they might be good at Harry Potter, we're welcome to bring on a fourth. I think Berto and Scott are going to co-host it for memory serves. And that's gonna. I'm gonna try to get that maybe launched this week, and then a week after that, I'm gonna do another exhibition match. My wife and her friend said that they wanted to do a match, so I'm gonna get a couple different girls together and do a ladies' night trivia. So that's gonna be fun to do. But my wife told me I have to write questions that like they would be able to get. So I'm gonna go a little easier than some of these like comic book questions and shit like that. But
I mean, there are a lot
If
of
you
women
need somebody
who
to
love
write
the
late
MTB.
night trivia, I'm your guy.
well, my wife keeps going. My wife's like she keeps like trying to get me to ask her questions from Mean Girls. So we've been
I
going
love
back and forth.
Mean Girls.
Yeah, we've been going back and forth with a bunch of
Dude,
those. But
I own Mean Girls on DVD.
dude, that was we went and saw that in theaters in high school, and I want to
It's
say
awesome,
it was
dude.
me and a bunch of guys, and we weren't embarrassed at all by going to see it.
Dude, the jokes in that movie are so classic high school.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
Hey,
this
let
all.
me go here.
like when she sees the teacher out of school and everybody's like, "What?" Like, dude, that used to be a thing. I'm sure it still is, but
Dude,
I don't know.
Anthony, Tim
Anthony.
Robbins with the Anthony joke. I love that. He's like, I understand when people get upset when they mix up people's names. I have a nephew named Anthony who gets upset every time I call him Anthony, but he doesn't get as upset. He doesn't get as upset as I do when I think that my sister named her
name my-
child Anthony.
Anthony. Yeah. That is an amazing fucking joke. I love
Oh,
that
it's really good.
because it makes me think of was it Anthony Hardaway or no?
Yeah.
Penny Hardaway, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Did you guys ever
speaking of
watch?
which?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna bring up The Last Dance, but anyway.
Did you guys ever see the show The League on
Yeah.
FX?
Yeah, I watched the first 4 seasons of The League.
All right. Do you remember the episode where I forget where they're at, but there's like a janitor in the hallway, and what's his face? Paul Scheer.
Paul
Like
Scheer.
he goes to him and he goes, "Excuse me," and the guy turns around. He's got a nickname, and it says Carmangelo is his name, and he goes, "Excuse me." He looks at his name and he goes, "Carmen Jello," and the guy stops. And he goes, "What'd you just say? Did you say Carmen Jello?" He's like, "Do you think my parents actually would name me that? You son of a bitch!" Oh, it's
Oh
so
my
funny.
god, dude, The League is a great show. Fucking what's his name's character from How Did This Get Made?
Rafi or Jason
Raf-
Mantzoukas.
Jason Mantzoukas' character is my favorite. Rafi is hilarious.
Rafi, you're drinking all this booze. You're supposed to be our designated driver. That's cool, man. Don't worry. 30 minutes before we're gonna leave, I'm gonna pop a Mentos and take a shit out all the booze. We'll be good to go.
Dude, and
No.
he's also good as the perfume guy in Parks and Rec.
Oh, they always get him playing the like most like skeezy scumbags and all his shows.
And that motherfucker is Greek.
Yep. Yeah. Also from the Boston area. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that. Yeah, he is.
He grew up in fucking Braintree or not Braintree. God damn it! What's the North Shore
Right.
city that with a B?
He grew up
Beverly?
in
Beverly?
Beverly. I think he grew up in Beverly.
Beverly?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Right.
I believe that's what he
Right.
said.
Right.
Nahant. He grew up in Nahant.
Nah, that's it.
My favorite beach.
But,
Duff, did you finish comedian? Did you finish Community?
we're in either the end of season 3 or the beginning of season 4. I can't remember where we left off. We haven't watched it in a couple days, but I fucking love it.
Oh,
It's
hey,
great.
speaking of Community, you know how you were talking about remakes?
Yeah.
All right, ready? Freaks and Geeks with some of the people that were in Stranger Things, and then some of the people that were in some other movies, like maybe X-Men First Class or something along those lines, where they get the young actors. But the Freaks and Geeks, I think, would be hilarious for a reboot.
Dude, well, Freaks and Geeks is an incredible show on its
It was
own.
awesome.
You would talk about Mean Girls nailing the high school experience. I think Freaks and Geeks did it better.
That's like middle
Yeah.
school, yeah.
Like
Yes.
it was crazy how like high school accurate that was.
It was so good, especially Ruben High with colored lockers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of did capture that for sure.
Which is funny because what is it? Seth Rogen sitting there listening to like a Chicago song from the '60s, and he's like, "How do you even know that song?" And that's exactly the kind of shit. Like I used to sit there listening to a song in high school, and somebody would be like, "Why do you even know what that is?" Like,
Chicago 25-6-4.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's-
fuck anybody who doesn't know any good music. That's crazy.
And you were like, because my brother Jason made me listen to it.
He used to body slam me on his pillow. We used to wrestle, rock bottoms, and stone cold stunners.
Did you guys have wrestling buddies when you were kids?
Eric fucking Nelson.
Yeah, he had him. I know he did, but like,
yeah, I used to wrestle with my neighbors, the Lunds, and my friend Jay next door. Jay,
Scott, Billy Miller.
Oh, Bill,
Mark Johnson.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, yeah, right, Pete?
Well, Scott, you had a trampoline, didn't you? Like a
That's what I was about to say. I had the trampoline with the net, so we used to wrestle every day.
I'm surprised there weren't more broken bones, because I used to do that too, and it was
I think that the net saved us.
I didn't have a
Roman Greco wrestling. Cool.
We were wrestling on the trampoline, and Billy flipped over, caught his head in the the gap, like on the outside, and then flipped his body this way. And his body had snapped his neck, and he was just sitting there 2 feet on the ground with his head caught all into the thing. I don't know how he didn't die.
Kids are resilient, man.
Bless you, Joe.
Really resilient.
Yeah,
Bless you, Joe.
Back then. Hey,
that's terrible. Oh my god.
My nephew would fall off shit, and then my brother would just be like, "Oh, he's fine. It's all good. He's what he don't care." I'm like, "You sure you don't want to check?" No, he's good. He's fine. It'd be like a brutal fall too. Like he'll just fall on his face or fall.
I fucking fell wicked bad yesterday. So I was coming down the stairs. My daughter, she said she had to go down. She was getting ready to put her to sleep. Right? She's like, I gotta go. I gotta go get like her Fox thing she sleeps with at night. It's downstairs. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm like, you got another one right here. She's like, no, we're going downstairs. She fucking ran downstairs, right? So my wife's like, what are you doing? How come she's downstairs? I'm like, I'm going to get her right now. In the time frame it took for me to talk to my wife and head down the stairs, we have this gate at the bottom of the stairs. My daughter locked the gate like on the bottom. Like there's this little latch at the bottom that could keep it completely locked, and then the normal lock on top. I fucking didn't think that was locked. So I'm like plowing down the stairs. I grabbed the fucking lock to unlock it. The bottom's still like latched. I fucking hit the gate. The entire gate came loose, flipped forward. I hit my front door. My foot landed between the fucking bars of the gate, and like my toes bent up, my heel bent in, and it went down like this. I thought I broke my fucking foot. I was in so much pain, and I can't even get my foot out. I'm fucking like, it was in so much pain. And my wife's like, what are you doing? Put her to sleep. And I'm like, I just broke my fucking foot. What do you mean put her to sleep? But
she's like, I don't give a fuck. Put her to sleep.
Like literally my foot was if it was so tingly. I'm like, it's broken. There's no way it's not broken. Like I didn't break like a major part of it, but a piece of the bone has chipped somewhere, and it is like kicking around my foot.
Kevin, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What is it like having another little human in your
out
household?
Of your balls?
No, it's in your house. Another little human is in your household, and you need to, like you said, you need to pay attention all the time where it's going. Like you said, you're running down the stairs, you trip. It's like how do you fucking focus that energy to where you need to?
I am a really bad parent. So, no.
Well, you're looking at it. You're looking at it. He goes into his little basement with
That's right. No.
I'm a bad father.
No,
hey, you're a good dad. All right.
I'm a great dad, and my kids love me. But like, it's all about. See, it's weird. Like Sarah's really good at things that I'm really not good at. Like she'll sit down and like. She can like I should be able to play pretend with my kids, no problem, because I did that shit my whole life. But I have a real difficult time doing that. I don't know why, but like Sarah can do it. She sits down and she's like playing, fucking doing voices and shit with the toys or whatever. But like if I get home, that shit's done. Like my kids don't even want to do that. They're like fucking chase me around the house, throw me on the couch. So I literally spend my afternoons when I get home like just running around my downstairs, like doing crazy shit with these kids. And then I get exhausted and they get exhausted. And then we're like, let's put on a movie. And then my wife comes in and sees us just watching TV. She's like, what do you just put them in front of the TV all day? I'm like, motherfucker, I got my steps in like an hour ago.
Yeah, we just did the Olympics before you got home. The Child Olympics.
No, so it's different things like that. So like it's not hard to take care of kids once you get used to what you have to do to keep them alive. Like little things like remember to feed them, remember to make sure to make them go to the bathroom, like change their diapers if they need it. But like the rest of it, honestly, it's just fucking playing with them. So it's pretty easy.
So I'm not going to call this like a thing, so don't get upset. But essentially, it's like having a puppy where you're training it to be a better thing to where it used to be, and then also maintaining its ability to be, its own thing.
But you love it a lot more.
Yeah, it's
the bowl full. You'll be fine.
It's kind of like that, except like they could imagine if
I don't care if a puppy dies, but I care if my child dies. Like I guess
you're
that's
probably gonna
like
go to jail.
where we draw the line.
The government does too.
Did any of you guys watch the last Tom Segura special? The comedy.
Oh my lord!
Well,
great movie. Yeah, great stand up.
He brings that up where he's like, don't get me wrong. He's like, I love my dog, and I love my son. But if my dog were ever to harm my son, I would drown it.
Yeah, he's got two daughters. He's got two daughters.
Yeah.
Two daughters.
No, he's got two. He's got two sons.
No.
Yeah.
Tom Segura or the fat guy, Bert?
No, Bert has two daughters.
Oh, yeah.
Segura has two sons. And he goes, I love my dog. He's like, I hate it when people tell me like, oh, I have a dog. I know what it's like to have kids. He's like, no, you don't. You don't understand. Because if my dog ever harmed my son, I would drown it immediately. And then I would hand it to my son and go, look what I did for you.
Any of you guys ever heard the Louis C.K. story when he's talking about giving his dog Ipecac?
Louis C.K. He jerks off on people. We don't.
Are we allowed to talk about Louis C.K.?
We can talk about Louis.
He just came out with a new special.
Yeah.
What platform?
It was really. It was really good.
Eats chocolate, and he
has to give him hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah, he brings the dog to like CVS or whatever. And he runs in and buys some Ipecac, and so he's like, "How do you get a dog to take Ipecac so it can throw up?" He's like beating his dog, and everyone's like looking at him like, "Why are you hitting your dog?" And he's like, "Finally, I got the dog to drink enough that it threw up the chocolate, and the dog lived." But he's like, that dog never looked at me the same way again.
Yeah,
we were never friends. We were never friends again.
He goes, the dog looked at me and went, "This thing that we got, that's over.
That's over.
You and me are done." Like I don't understand. Yeah.
It's so funny because I know I've already got the animal rights activists after me after the last time I told you that I didn't care about my dog anymore. But
that's right.
Honest to God, my dog eats chocolate all the time now, and we used to freak out. Now I'm just like, whatever. Let's see what happens.
And he takes her like a machine?
Yeah, she's good.
No chocolate.
Oh my god, that's great.
I think it's gonna eat a lot of it, but it's not
the
good.
one time.
Dark chocolate's bad. Milk chocolate's fine.
One time we took it. We did take it. We did take it to get its stomach pumped because they didn't do anything really.
Scott, what are you doing? Why are you putting your legs up all crazy soft?
I usually do that during the post-game show.
What do you mean?
Well, Berto will call him while he's laying down in bed.
Yeah,
I saw a neon beam go by me for a second.
Some white chicken legs.
Oh my lord.
Man. Anyways, one time we took my dog to the vet because she ate an entire container of chocolate-covered espresso beans. And I'm like, well, she's going to die from the fucking, just from the caffeine that she just got. So, like, we took her to the vet and had her stomach pumped then. But that was before we had kids. We wouldn't have done that now.
Jesus Christ.
You get the vet's bill once for that, you never do it again.
How are we doing?
I don't think my dog even had the fucking shots, but
I need a play-by-play.
It's third round. Pettis and Cerrone are banging it out in the last 20 seconds.
Oh shit. Who do you think's winning?
I've been talking to you guys, just watching like back and forth.
Well, either way, read me who wins when Bruce Buffer announces it.
Well, you guys, honestly,
Cerrone, Cowboy, big right hook, big left hook.
No,
big part.
I'm still trying to get my shit to work, as you can see on the laptop right here. I'm not doing a good job.
Try the link I sent you. Try the second link, not the first one.
Well, Berto, once you get it up and running, we can end this. We'll end this broadcast. That way, you don't have to miss anything.
Man, they banged it out at the finish.
Duff, you watched Polar Opposites yet?
I don't know what that is.
It's a new Hulu. It's a Hulu TV show made by Rick and Morty creators.
Oh,
yeah, the cartoon.
The cartoon with the blue guys. Yeah, I haven't seen it. It looks good. It looks good. That's why I'm shocked that you haven't watched.
It's like
I'm shocked that you haven't really given Community a chance, Scott, because it's literally Dan Harmon, the guy who created Rick and Morty, that writes Community.
I've seen the first. It's not it makes me laugh, but we have so many other shows we've started. We're gonna finish those up and then go back to Community. We want to finish Sopranos. Then we're gonna
you gotta finish Sopranos.
And I want to finish Legion too, because I really like that show.
Andy told me to watch Legion. I haven't started it yet.
I only watched the first season.
Legion's good.
I watched The Outsider.
Like any other show.
I got like 5 episodes into Outsider, and I think it's awesome. I really like it. I just something happened and we fell off watching it, and then Sarah doesn't want to go back for some reason. So now it's like,
no, you need to finish that.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Sometimes too much time passes, and you just lose the interest.
You can't watch a show anymore.
You need to go back and start again because too much time's passed. You kind of lose the investment you had in it.
I understand.
Well, anybody Sons of Anarchy's fan?
Yes.
Yeah, I am.
I was.
I'm a Sons of Anarchy fan, but I got to preface that by saying that it's a guilty pleasure. It's a ridiculous show. It's not a good show, but I think it's a genius, weird, masculine soap opera. Of
yeah, but isn't it?
It's
Kurt Sutter, he knows what he's writing, but Mayans is like the spinoff from that.
Yeah,
and
I haven't watched Mayans. I tried to watch Mayans. I couldn't do it. No, I couldn't.
You need to, dude, bro. Watch Mayans. It's very good.
I've heard
like Sons of Anarchy is based off like Hamlet or something like that. Is that true?
No, it's like not
kind of based on the Hell's Angels.
Yeah, but
I thought it was based on like a Shakespeare book.
Yeah,
a little bit.
In terms of Shakespeare. Macbeth, I think. I forget exactly. Yeah,
it's
Macbeth sucks.
It's the struggle of like living in the shadow of your dead father, like while trying to like play with like the things behind the scenes that got him killed, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much like Macbeth, but it was good. So Sons of Anarchy, I think it's entertaining, and I liked it while I was watching it, but I didn't love every season, and I didn't like how it ended at all.
Oh, I was gonna say I liked how it ended, and that's probably why I like the show.
No.
Well, what season didn't you like? Because they all had to introduce something into one another.
I think that the first 3 seasons are really good, and then the storyline between him and Clay like just dragged out for like, I'm like, this fucking thing should have been like it would have been you couldn't have gotten rid of Ron Perlman before they did, because he was like a reason to come to the show. But if they had more balls, they would have addressed that way earlier in the series.
Well, yeah, but Clay had all the ties with Belfast. First of all, that's why you couldn't fucking kill him immediately. He had to establish the gun trade, and then when Jax figured out that he actually killed his dad and that his mom had something with it, he couldn't just off him because he had ties to everything else. So
but
he just watched up things.
How much better would the season have been? Say it went from season 3 and they did that. And how much better would season 4 have been if the repercussions of him just being like finding out and just killing fucking Clay, and then all of a sudden it's like, now we got fucking Ireland we got to deal with. Now we got.
Don't forget, dude, you're dealing with fucking 5 dudes who are fucking from California. Some of them have military training. Some of them just from the streets. They're normal people. Now you're dealing with fucking the IRA, who's a trained fucking unit.
But I think
no way, dude. They would get obliterated. It would be fucking Rat City.
I know, but that's what would have made the next season from that standpoint would have been drastically better. Because
next season, so the Anarchy, boom, 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 you're dead, motherfucker. Now you have 8 kids and no one knows what the fuck's going on.
I think from a writing standpoint, I think from a story standpoint, it would have been more interesting to see them deal with that right in the middle than it would have to drag it out for 5 seasons. Like, will they?
That's like when Sopranos, they all sit in the fucking diner and you go, man, I wish something else happened, and they go, cut. Thanks, Journey. Thanks for fucking memories. That was fucking nice.
You just spoiled it for Scott.
Good. He should know the fucking ending anyways. 99.
I also didn't like that all the planning and cunning of Jax throughout the entire series. All of a sudden, going into the last season, like after what happens, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but after what happens in
you can spoil it.
All right.
If you haven't seen it, you're no.
When his wife gets murdered by his mother, and
that's gross.
And then all of a sudden he's so fucked up that he can't think clearly. The guy who's been so level-headed his entire fucking show that he makes all these fucking mistakes, and you
have to think that he has mom issues going all the way back to where he needs to be cradled, and then when she fucking collapses, the only premise of support he has left is gone. So he fucking loses control.
But it doesn't. He goes mental though, and he literally puts the club at way more risk than it ever needed to be due to his craziness. And I understand. Yeah, it's lost. It's the woman you loved, all that shit. But his character.
Yeah, the woman he loved was his mom. That was the whole thing. It was a fucking mom thing.
But his character to that point had been level-headed about every situation getting up to that point. So it annoyed me.
Well, yeah, he was kind of level-headed, but he always had in the back of his mind that, all right, you know, my mom's up to some shit. My mom's up to some shit. And then every time he had to address something, it was always fucking this bitch in the background doing some shady shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Sons of Anarchy disappointed me with the way it ended.
Oh, it hurt so good.
But I'm like that with a lot of shows. Shows don't end well for me. Except Breaking Bad. I thought that ended great.
Yeah, I wasn't mad at the way Breaking Bad ended.
Oh, man. Breaking Bad, that whole fucking spinoff, too, with the fucking El Camino.
The movie,
that was all right.
Nope.
That was all right. But
it was really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed El Camino. I thought that was good.
It was fine,
good.
but it didn't really need to exist.
I wasn't mad that I wasn't mad that I watched it. I thought I enjoyed the story, but it was just, again, I think that would have been cool if it had been like a one-off series, like kind of what they did with Better Call Saul. It was like a one season of like Jesse, like what the fuck's he gonna do to get out of his situation? But,
right.
But it was good.
Yeah, for sure.
But before you guys get out of here, one thing I wanted to bring up was, and I talked about it earlier, was anything that you guys could think of that you've either read, watched, or anything in the past that like you think would be cool to either be remade into a TV show or a movie today. Scott, I know you're a massive Audible book guy, and you go down the rabbit hole like a lot of like unique properties and shit. So
I haven't lately because I haven't been driving to work. I don't think there'd be. I haven't read anything that would be like remade, but
even original stuff that could be adapted.
Yeah, probably a ton of stuff. Not off the top of my head.
I've got one, Duffy, and you already know what it is.
Resident Evil.
Yes. And
I agree with that.
And everything they're talking about with the TV show on Netflix or whatever they're talking about, everything that I've heard has made me really sad.
Yeah, doesn't sound right.
It sounds fucking horrible. It sounds worse than the movies they made.
Yeah.
I don't know how that was possible, but you know,
it's so hard. It's so hard for creators to get out of their own goddamn way. I feel like you literally have. I know that like maybe you're struggling with like the video games already tell these stories, so like I don't want to retell that story because people already know it from the video games. But that's what the fucking people who played the video games want to see in a show. They want to see the goddamn game laid out in a one-off series for a one-season series for each game.
But the first three games are such a well.
Yeah,
it's a good enough story.
The first three are like the king of everything Resident Evil.
It's a good enough story to just go off that. Just do that, and most people will be happy with that. Yeah, I would be. I think.
They still making a Halo TV show?
I don't know.
I heard they were making that for the last 10 years.
So Peter Jackson was originally going to direct a big budget Halo movie, and then that never happened. And then they started making. Then they talked about a TV show. Then they started making like I think CGI movies on Netflix. So that's.
I thought they were supposed to be one on like Showtime.
I haven't heard anything recently.
I don't know. I haven't looked it up. But speaking of that kind of thing, the director of Kong Skull Island, Jordan Voight Roberts is his name. That dude pitched hard, and I think he still is, to get a Metal Gear Solid movie made.
That'd be
good. I do remember that. He actually had a lot of like
good ideas too.
Concept art.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Andy and I actually talked about that for a minute. I liked a lot of what he had. He seems to understand the game a lot.
Right.
I like. Some of his ideas are a little bonkers, but you're always going to run into that when it comes to people trying to remake, games into movies.
Yeah.
But, he seems to like the subject matter a lot, which is very cool.
Right.
Two things that I think, one of them I think is coming back, but I wish one would come back. First one is the Mortal Kombat. I think that actually is coming back soon.
That would be a good TV series.
Right? But the second one, right? Twisted Metal.
You know what? Not for nothing. Twisted Metal. With all the movies that were made, like the B movies, like your Death Races and all that stuff that got remade, Twisted Metal should have been made into a movie back in like the early 2000s.
I was about to say,
where's Twisted Metal? Where's Sweet Tooth? Where I need that action.
That would be great.
That'd be such a hard CGI effect to pull off.
So I did look up the Halo TV series, and it says it's coming out in 2021 for Showtime.
Wow. It's actually like focusing on Master Chief and stuff.
Set to air in 2021. That's what I mean, I didn't go into the details, but yeah.
You think it's too late?
No, I think it'll do well.
The Halo train kind of.
You know what?
They're making new games still for like the new system.
See, I think maybe the games have jumped the shark, but I think even people who are even mildly fans of the game would want to see a series in that world. You wouldn't watch it? Like I honestly, I've never even been a Halo fan, but the thought of the actual like story being told or whatever it's gonna be being told like on a TV show, I would absolutely tune in.
Well, no, I just think they missed their prime window of Halo.
They did. They fucked around. It's supposed to come out in like 2013.
Yeah, like
years ago.
Because Halo came out in 2001. It was a launch title for the Xbox. Like,
I remember when the teaser trailer for Star Trek, the J.J. Abrams one, came out, and like when it first dropped, it was like a mystery trailer. Nobody knew it was Star Trek, and Scott actually said, "I think this is the Halo trailer." And I remember we pulled it up and watched it, and then at the end it said the USS Enterprise. You're like, "Ah, shit, it's Star Trek."
I also thought it was what was the one that Joe got wrong? District 9.
Yeah, he said District 13, right?
When I first saw that trailer, I thought that was it. So.
You know what I've been watching a lot lately is the Mission Impossible movies.
I love the last three. I think that
I love Tom Cruise. I'll watch anything. That should be a category.
That was a remake. That was a remake. Mission Impossible was a remake.
Yeah, TV show in the 60s? 60s?
Yeah, 60s.
Hey, I vote for Tom Cruise. Next category.
It's nuts how many stunts he does by himself.
He does all his own stunts. The guy's like crazy maniac.
He's like 50 something years. He's almost 60 or something like that. Like and he looks 10 years younger than me. He looks 10 years younger than me.
Well, he's Hollywood. I mean, he's a millionaire.
He has a dungeon with young boys that he harnesses blood from and makes them stay young.
Yeah, but Leonardo DiCaprio is Hollywood too, but he doesn't look 10 years younger than me.
Well, no, because
Leonardo
he's only in his 40s and he smokes and drinks like the rest of us.
Tom Cruise takes his energy from young boys' souls.
Yeah. When's the last time Leo is not really like an action guy either. Like Tom Cruise has to stay in shape in order to keep making his movies.
I guess so. Worst Tom Cruise movie. What do you think?
Vanilla Sky.
I like that movie.
I might go with The Mummy.
Yeah. The new Mummy. The new Mummy.
That was the worst.
Oh, double bird to that. I love that movie.
The new one?
The new Mummy?
Yeah, fuck yeah, that was great.
Where the bad guy is the girl mummy?
Oh, she's so hot. I love her. Sophia
Boutella.
Yes. Oh.
All right, listen, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great night. Good
See ya.
you.
See ya, Joe.
Bye, Joe.
Yeah, Sophia Boutella's hot, but I mean, that movie was terrible.
Oh, I love that movie.
They bit off more than they could chew with that one. They were like, let's create a universe and do all this stuff. Like, just make a fucking movie.
Remember when I said DC was the worst universe? I lied. So the Dark Universe, they called it. That's the worst universe, and it didn't even exist.
Is that the Mummy universe?
Yeah, that's what they were trying to create.
That was going to be the Mummy universe, and
they got Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde in that universe. They got Werewolf. Then Van Helsing should be in that universe.
So they were all going to be, but I mean, the Mummy tanked because they were too busy focusing on trying to create a universe and not focusing on making a good movie. So like
maybe I hate shitty movies. I don't know.
They already named the universe before there was even a movie out.
And that's the problem.
So I went to see it in theaters, and then it came up with Dark Universe. It even had a logo like Dark Universe, and everybody started laughing. Like
yeah.
I heard Sony came out with a new universe for Spider-Man. It's pretty bad.
What happened? Couldn't hear you.
So didn't Sony just come out with like a universe for their name Spider-Man shit?
The Spider-Verse is cool. Like the Spider-Verse is a thing.
No, but they didn't call it Spider-Verse. It's like Sony Pictures Marvel characters universe.
Yes. It's like the Sony Pictures
what?
universe.
Like
The Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters.
Spider-Verse would have been great. But instead they called it like Sony Pictures characters of Marvel or something.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's terrible.
That's
It's a
bad.
mouthful.
Holy shit.
Hold on, let me look it up.
Yeah, that's rotten. But
that's gonna be bad. That's gonna be DC bad.
just call it the Spider-Verse.
All right, guys, I'm out of here.
That's what it is. It's called the Sony
Doug.
Pictures universe of Marvel characters.
Now I get why they have to do that because I mean they get their own
They could
properties.
have called it
They own,
Spider-Verse.
but fuck, that's so
It was great.
stupid. So that would be like Venom. That'd be like the Venom movie would be
In the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Carnage.
in that universe. Yeah, that's terrible.
And Morbius, that one's coming out. I actually wanted to see Morbius before it got pushed. It's
It looks terrible.
You guys saw Venom, right?
yeah.
I know
You're
Duffy.
into
You have.
vampires, Duffy, but
I like the character Morbius. He always stuck with me from the 90s cartoon. So that's
Woody Harrelson as Carnage. Get out of here.
yeah, that was a mistake.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
That was a mistake. I wouldn't have fucking used him. I wouldn't have used him at all.
I love Woody Harrelson, but get out of here with that.
They had a really good chance. They could have picked any like eccentric kind of actor to throw in there, young, old, whatever. This is gonna sound crazy, and I can't believe I want to say it out loud. But you know who I would like to have seen in that cell being Cletus Cassidy at the end? Jim Parsons from The Big Bang Theory.
That would have been fine with me over Woody Harrelson, to be perfectly honest. And it would have given Jim Parsons more to do. That wasn't just Sheldon. You know
but
what I mean?
he could have totally tapped into the Sheldon like kind of
just
like
eccentric, weird, crazy
vocabulary, even his vocabulary, like just
Yeah.
like, but then he just snapped and he thinks he can just murder people because he's better than every human and like something like that.
Do you think he's talented enough for that? I don't know.
I think he could pull off a crazy guy.
But sell it like that because I would just laugh because I mean that's you learn to laugh at him from
I don't know. I think you take an actor like him and you take. I feel like just his natural like I want to say resting bitch face, but his his natural look on camera when he's like just like imagine like a scene with like that guy just like in somebody's room like murdering like a woman in her fucking bedroom, just like and like you just cut to the door shutting and it just zooms in on him just like watching her before he fucking kills her. Like I totally think you could see Jim Parsons doing that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I just thought of that. I've never thought of that before this moment that just happened. So if they rewrite it and they fan cast him based on this, that'd be amazing. Jim Parsons owes me money. But
I think I'm out of here.
Yeah, that'll do it. I don't want to hold people any longer than they have to. Thanks for tuning in, everybody that tuned in this far. We will catch you guys in the next match and hopefully the next post-game show. See you later.
I love you.